After 1 week of testing preseason, it's time to go over it again and give a more in-depth review on the new KAISA build we might see next season. I spent hours on stream and off stream testing different builds, trying to figure out what could work and what doesn't work. So this video should show the direction at least that the Riot is taking when it comes down to builds for season 14. Now, before the video starts, there's one thing that everyone needs to remember. All these changes will only go live on 14.1, that means in early January. That means we still have the entire month of December for things to change, and believe me, it will when you look at how strong some champs are like Fizz. Alright, since we are talking about KAISA builds, we can class them in 5 different boxes. First is AD Crit, second HYDRID, then AP KAISA, Lethality, and finally on hit with items like Withstand. Because yes, for me there's a difference between HYDRID that focus on ability and on hit that just want more auto attack damage. Finally, just know that this preseason was focused on mages, supports, and tanks. Don't be surprised if there aren't that many ADC changes when it comes down to building. Alright, AD Crit. There are 3 changes that are important to talk about. First is the removal of mythic items, which allows IE and Navari to be both picked in the same build. Second is the addition of the new item called Terminus, which not only gives you some physical and magic penetration, but also armor and MR. And finally, it's a nerf to Phantom Dancer. The build path lost its zeal for a simple crit cloak. This will make building PD way more annoying. And there you go. Like I said before, there weren't too many changes to expect anyway. So when it comes down to KAISA builds, it also didn't see much changes. From my testing, the most comfortable AD Crit build remains Kraken plus Navari plus PD or Terminus. Kraken because Stormwather doesn't give you enough attack speed, Navari because of the ability spam, and the third item, it really depends on what you need. Terminus is a good option if you need defensive stats really fast, like versus assassins or strong bruisers. The only issue with this item is that you can't build LDR after, so your fourth item will most likely be IE, which makes the build pretty expensive. Meanwhile, Phantom Dancer is better versus tanks or when you have a frontline, because not only it's cheaper to build, and you still have access to LDR. But there's one more build I need to talk about because even me, I was surprised on how much damage it can actually do. That is Kraken, IE, Phantom Dancer, and Shadow Flame. Yes, you heard me right, Shadow Flame. Alright, let me explain. IE enhances your crit damage, while Shadow Flame now makes your magic damage crit. This interaction allows you to burst down enemies so fast it's scary. And although it does sound like a meme build, if you're facing a squishy team in front, I really don't think it's a bad build to go for with how much damage you can do. Just remember that this pass has low DPS and it's really all about bursting people down. Alright, HYDRID time. For this, there are 2 big changes I need to mention. One, Rageblade lost its double penetration passive. It does less damage now, and second, Nasher got nerfed going from 100 AP to 80 AP. This is pretty big because that means that now you can't get W evolution with only one Nasher, which kills a lot of build options. But thankfully, Rageblade still has its AP and Nasher build path didn't change. So Stormwather RB Nasher still works fine, but it is also the only option you can go for in preseason when it comes down to HYDRID KAISA. But you do have more variety now when it comes down to 4th item. You can go for Zhonya's for more defensive stats, Shadow Flame for more burst power, Terminus if you need penetration, and Decap if you're fed and you just want more damage. I did look for other options like Navari and Nashers, but the fact it only gives you 80 AP now makes most builds just not worth the effort. I also did try with Static, but it still sucks, so yeah. Overall, if you compare to what we have right now on live servers, AD Crit KAISA didn't change much, but HYDRID KAISA early game got nerfed. It's kinda expected when RB lost its penetration and Nasher 20 AP, but HYDRID scaling on the other hand got a bit stronger compared to live servers. So at the moment, from 1st to 3rd item, AD Crit KAISA is overall stronger, while after that HYDRID KAISA takes the lead. But since league games are mostly short, my prediction is that most likely the meta will shift again to us building AD KAISA in majority. Full AP KAISA now. Now for this build, a lot of things have changed, and it will probably take too long for me to explain everything. But although the items have changed, the idea of AP KAISA remains the same, so the build is still pretty simple. Mana Mune plus Caster Companion, which replace Students, plus Horizon Focus or Shadow Flame if you're fed. If AD and HYDRID got overall a bit nerfed, AP KAISA just got buffed, and I mean it. You do more damage with things like Shadow Flame, and the build is now way cheaper. Because here's the thing, right now, Mana Mune, Ludens, and Horizon Focus without counting the boots cost you 9.1k gold. On PB, on the other hand, it now costs you only 8,600 gold, so 500 gold cheaper for similar damage. And finally, since now Shadow Flame can crit, you can start doing things like this. I hope you understand why I say that AP KAISA is buff now. Now, although things can change over 1 month, especially looking at Shadow Flame, I don't think Horizon Focus will get changed with how niche it is. So if you're planning to play AP KAISA mid or top lane in Season 14, this might be the season for you. Okay, Lethality. Now yes, I know, I did say before I don't like Lethality, but it's still a viable build, and since I make guys, I can't simply ignore it. Now, like for HYDRID KAISA, the nerf to Nashers is a pretty big hit, not to mention that Duskblade got deleted, so you might think that this playstyle is dead, but it's not quite the case, because now most Lethality items are actually pretty cheap. I didn't spend that much time testing every single option because anyway these items will most likely be changed, but I did find a pretty disgusting combo. Opportunity, the new Lethality item that gives you more lethality for a couple seconds when you enter combat, plus Luminous, plus Nashers, and Tome for W. The combo of Opportunity and Ghostblade is not only a cheap one, but also makes your Q do so much damage. So if you get fit in lane, this is a solid build in terms of damage, but overall I'm pretty sure that if Lethality items remain that cheap, Lethality KAISA will still be viable in Season 14. Finally, let's talk about on-hit KAISA. Well, I'll make it quick. It's dead. Yep. With RB losing its penetration, Nasher only giving 80 AP, Witsend having no more AD anymore, and Bork still being bad on KAISA, it's just not worth it to even try to build it, because there are just better options right now. And there you have it. Now, what's my opinion about all of this? Well, it's kinda mixed. On one side, I'm pretty happy with all the map and objective changes because they make the game feel fresh and new, which I'm all for it. But as for items, this is where I have some mixed feelings. Because on one side, I'm happy that Hybrid is still an option for KAISA, but I don't understand the changes they made to PD and Withstand because it hurt ADCs for no apparent reason. The change to Withstand, for example, pretty much removed AD carries only a more attack speed option, forcing us to build more or QSS. Not to mention, at least right now, mages and assassins are just massively overpowered, so yeah. Next season doesn't look really good for ADC players, but I guess we still need to wait and see. But with that, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you want to keep up on the next couple guides, and especially the Season 14 guide, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.